belongs as we welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Smyrna River Valley. My name is Fletcher Walsh, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. As UUs, we are united within a liberal setting, embracing the beauty and spirit of inclusivity, equity, and diversity, not bound to or by a specific creed, but through covenant with one another, we affirm, practice, and promote 8 principles as our core values. At the end of the day, it's our deeds nurtured by our principles that best define who we are, and with equal measure, our connection to the world around us. If you're new to UU, we invite you to take a look at our mission statement along with our 8 principles printed within the order of service. We'd like to recognize first and second time visitors, those of you who haven't been here in a while, to stand if you're comfortable in doing so. Introduce yourself and tell us where you're from. Can we start on this side over here? Anybody?
So I was a member years ago, Phyllis Robertson from Abound.
Welcome.
My name is Lane, from right up here on View Street, and it's been a while since I've been here, glad to be back.
Okay.
I'm Roy McGuire, I'm on View Street too.
Welcome. How about on this side over here? Anybody?
My name's Kelly. I'm from Asheville, and I have been here about 8 years, so I'm glad to be back.
Welcome. Anybody else? Well, thank you all for coming today. We know there are many choices out there, and we're pleased you decided to make this your choice this morning, and hope you'll consider coming back and visiting with us. We also have potluck today to include folks from our membership committee. They're identified with orange name tags, and they'll be able to answer any questions you might have later on. So we hope to see you there. We don't have any announcements, but there is an acknowledgement, and perhaps this was stated before in my absence, but I'd like to extend a thanks to Marty and Rochelle for the time and effort they made in keeping the administrative side in place prior to Sage joining our team. It was absolutely seamless. And also, thanks to Walt for finding Sage. She's been a wonderful addition. And now for those of you who are comfortable in participating, we're going to end this part of the service with our land and labor acknowledgement, which is located on the upper right side of the back of your order of service. And if you're ready, we acknowledge with respect that the land is the sacred ancestral home of the Cherokee and other native peoples who survived and continue to make their home here. We deeply regret the genocide and broken treaties by which their land was stolen and from which we all benefit. We support the Cherokee as they seek redress for their injustices. We also acknowledge that this country was built on the stolen labor and denied ownership of land to enslaved Africans who continue to experience oppression, economic injustice, and generational trauma. We bear a moral and spiritual responsibility to oppose and work to eliminate the ongoing harm of white supremacy and racism. Thank you. Let's begin our service.
Good morning. Good morning. Let us be thankful for this time and place, allowing us to share in all of our joys and concerns. United in our covenant of values and aspirations, as expressed in our 8 principles. Inspired by the generosity and service of our members and our friends. Encouraging one another on our chosen individual spiritual paths. Grateful for the blessings and gifts available to us through the power of love. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Gorgeous morning. Thank you for choosing to spend an hour or so with us. I know there's Papa. But I know that's not the only reason. Please rise as you are willing and able and join in our opening hymn. We'll be just singing verses 1, 2, and 5. Number 203, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky. I always say this, not always, but it's, maybe we'll do opening work, maybe we'll do a way where you can come up and just see how you look. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's like a bouquet. And you only see it if you're standing up here. Well, hopefully you see it in each other, but it's just beautiful. You guys are beautiful.
Right back at you.
You guys are beautiful. So we'll find a way maybe to get you up. Oh, I know. I was at Boone a couple Sundays ago. They just came up and took a picture of it. Whoever, I forgot the worship leader, so maybe we'll do that. Just take a picture of it. And maybe we'll put it out there. Maybe I'll do it right now. Photos. Oh, wait a minute. Camera. Oh, wait a minute. Ro, can you do this for me?
No, she's got to be in the picture.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. No, just set it up. Set it up. Can you do that? Okay. And then you get back up. Okay. And then we'll put it up on the bulletin.
Yeah, but
Is that it? I can't see the faces. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ruth. Could we just sit there? Okay. Okay, wait a minute. It's not as... okay. Okay, all right. Here it goes. One. Hold on. Let's go over there. Two. Okay. All right.
We need an iPhone 101
All
class.
right. Yeah, how well you can see.
That was like a Jimmy Kimmel cold opening.
You took it there. Yeah. We should light a candle for Brother Kimmel. This is a long one by UU Marge Piercy, number 568. We'll read responsively. Connections are made slowly. The Seven Pentacles. Connections are made slowly, and sometimes they grow underground. More than half a tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Live as if you like yourself, and it may happen. This is how we're going to live for a long time, but not always. There it is. There it is. Okay. Can we give them another hand? Okay. So, this is the time in the service when we invite you to come and share a joy and concern, a sorrow. We have all the tools here, the water, the stones, and the fire. And come on up. The floor is yours. Do you need me to bring you the stones? Okay. This is for you, those of you who did not want to come up for whatever reason. And just know we keep you in our thoughts and prayers and in our hearts and minds. I want to share the words, always wise words, from Brother John O'Donohue as our meditation this morning. It's called a morning offering. So please center yourselves as you see fit, and we will have our time of quiet afterwards. I wanted to add a little aesthetic. To turn the lights down. Would you mind that? Can we turn the lights down? I don't know which one. I'll probably turn them off. Oh, they're up front. Yeah. Okay. Just make pretend the lights are okay. Thank you.
On or off?
There. A morning offering. I bless the night that nourished my heart, to set the ghosts of longing free into the flow and figure of dreams that went to harvest from the dark bread for the hunger no one sees. All that is eternal in me welcomes the wonder of this day. The field of brightness it creates, offering time for each thing to arise and illuminate. I place on the altar of dawn the quiet loyalty of breath, the tent of thought where I shelter, waves of desire I am sure to, and all the beauty drawn to the eye. May my mind come alive today to the invisible geography that invites me to new frontiers, to break the dead shell of yesterdays, to risk being disturbed and changed. May I have the courage today to live the life that I would love, to postpone my dream no longer, but to do at last what I came here for and waste my heart on fear no more. And now, while our minds are one for this brief moment, I leave you with the eloquence of silence. And so it is. The greatest use of life, as you've heard me say, is to spend it on something that will outlast it. And in that spirit, we collect this morning's offering. as Eddie Murphy would say, beautiful. That was beautiful. I'm sorry, that's buckwheat, but same thing. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Thank you for your generosity. Jim and I will be in Puerto Rico next week. I thank you. Right? Okay. So I want to just run over some things that with you that I was thinking about on the sabbatical that you so graciously provided. So you kind of know I just wasn't hanging out, you know, which I was at times, but. I'm going to be ahead of myself, but I want to say this very quickly. Because I was thinking about where we are at this time and place and, you know, in the culture and ideas about how we move forward as a congregation. And I also, the next two sermons, I have Sunday off, I'll put that out there for you. It's more about church leadership. We need more people to volunteer. We need more people to kind of share the burden, and I'm going to try to entice you about the spiritual growth of church leadership. But also for our leaders to remind them of why we're here and the spirituality that it takes to be on the board, to run a committee, to be the minister, to be the RD. So that's coming up, and that will be the fruit of my labors, some of it from having those 3 months off. Needless to say, one of the things I had plenty of time to do on the sabbatical was to think and reflect, was to contemplate my life and its trajectory. I try to do this every year, especially as we get in the last quarter closer to the holidays. That's my own personal thing, to see the arc of my life, because I'll be dead probably in 30 years or so. No, hopefully. But maybe before, but I'm kind of, you know, I'm 68. So to think about this congregation and where we are headed in these challenging and interesting times. So of course I want to think about the contradictions of life. That's the theme of the talk this morning. Perhaps I could have been more theoretical and abstract with this talk, but I'm not writing it over. And it probably would have been wiser, but here we are. And even though struggling with contradictions is a continuing challenge for all of us, it can always be argued that we are more in need of cures than hearing confessions. So philosophies, psychologies, and theologies abound with solutions for conflicts within us and society that can be really painful and disturbing. It's not my intention this morning to discuss or pass judgment on any of that. I would share with you, as honestly as I can, a description of where I am right now as your minister, as a human being on planet Earth, and how I feel about being where I am. I've been on this planet 68 summers. My reasoning for this self-centered approach is that I feel that in times of uncertainty and crisis, we may not all agree on the solution to the problems. We can at least strive to be honest and candid with ourselves and each other. I've been minister here for several years, and I know there have been times when I may have, you may have been puzzled by things that I've said. Perhaps you may think I've been inconsistent, and if so, you're probably right. I too am puzzled at some of the things that I've said and done. And my actions and convictions are sometimes, like you, in a state of flux. I resonate with those agonized lines from Dag Hammarskjöld's book, Markings, sleepless questions in the small hours. Have I done right? Why did I act just as I did. Over and over and over, the same steps, the same words, but never the answer. When I began my ministry with this congregation, that has changed. Since I began, it's changed considerably. I'm a much different person today. You're a much different congregation. I was much more sure of myself back then. Much more sure of the purpose of this congregation and what my life's ministry would be. My convictions and my actions were much more consistent, and I'd like to believe that we have grown together. I'd like to believe that. My faith was much more structured then. My confidence in myself and the principles of a liberal faith were assured by my upbringing and my education. Now I'm older, perhaps a bit wiser. But definitely I have more questions and contradictions than I ever dreamt were possible in the earlier years. By saying this, I do not mean that I have lost my faith or that my beliefs have profoundly changed. That would have been easy in a lot of ways. I feel that I still hold today most of the important beliefs that I held when I first arrived here from New York City. The thing is that the experience of these times, these troubled and challenging times, have forced me to believe or accept things about myself and the world and the contradictions that I wrestle with. For instance, I have come to believe that most of the things that I was taught, intentionally or not, were simply not true about how the world worked, about politics, about religion, about life in general. So I'll describe briefly what I'm talking about. I still believe in love. I still believe in reason as the best guide for myself in the pursuit of truth and the good life. Love most important. The ability that I have as a human being to reason is a most distinctive and precious gift, and I respect its power. I cherish it. I cherish it. Yet I fear it as well, especially when I note how I and my fellow human beings misuse it. Oftentimes, my intellect finds things that are reasonable, at least to my mind, that I know in my heart and soul are simply wrong, or at least insufficient. Perhaps there are men and women, maybe in this congregation, but maybe there are men and women in this life who have so disciplined themselves that their lives can truly be directed by only reason. I am not that person. I'm not even sure I want to be. I seek to be reasonable, but live with the knowledge that reason does not control my every step. In fact, and it may be difficult for you to believe, but I am compelled at times to do exactly what reason denies. I still believe in the UU principle of being accepting of different beliefs, having respect for other points of view. But I have drawn a line where I don't always think that I need to reach for the higher ground. I think sometimes a line needs to be drawn, that's it, that's about enough. I can still respect your inherent worth and dignity and say, but that's about as far as it's going to go on this topic, on this subject. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying I think that. I'm not sure that nonviolence always will win the day, or that it's even smart at times. I used to think that because I was idealistic. I don't know if Gandhi or King could survive this administration. I don't think they would. But that's me. I believe in love. I believe in the redemptive power of love. I believe in not only the physical embrace of lovers, but in the loving encounter of all those who will open themselves up to each other. There is given to us the most beautiful strength and comfort we can possibly find. I need such love. I want it to be the spirit of my ministry and this church. And at the same time, I'm learning to have a healthy respect for hate. Thomas Jefferson was once quoted as saying, and I don't quote Thomas Jefferson often, but in a letter to Benjamin Rush, quote, upon the altar of God, I swear hostility against every tyranny over the minds of man. Apparently, enslaved people never entered his mind when he said that, but he's a human being. But hostility requires at least a modicum of hate. I am hostile to the acts of racism and sexism and all the so-called isms. I believe these isms are eating away at our society. Is that hatred by another name? I'm just asking. To love people and to hate the condition in which they exist produces at times, for me at least, terribly complex tension. I've spoken about Howard Thurman admitting that he had to face the fact that at one point in his life, try as he might, there were still people he did not want to love. That would be me as well. He said that his prayer was not to love, but to just be willing to want. To love. Now, I'm not asking you. I'm just saying that's where I have not evolved to that level as yet. And I relate to that sentiment wholeheartedly. I'm just not there yet. And I have long since made that prayer my own. It doesn't mean I stopped working on it, but there are people I simply don't want to love. I'm choosing if they're worthy. I believe in law and order, or perhaps I should say I believe in the democratic approach, the need for ordered and accepted procedures that enable for people to fashion their common life in ways determined by the majority with respect to the minority. My spiritual life has a rather heavy investment in the democratic process. That's changing. I finally see the flaws in that if you are always in the majority, there really is no democratic process because you will always vote. I don't know the answers. Democratic socialism, my life. That's radical for me. Capitalism just is not working for me. It's not working, period. I've always been uncomfortable with flag waving and overt displays of patriotism. I don't like it. It scares me. I see where this can lead and has led other nations when carried to its extreme. I am by temperament and traditionally a liberal, but I realize that I am more radical politically than I ever have been as I've gotten older. I realize the appeal and necessity of a more radical approach to some of the challenges of our time. Radical times demand radical action, so I'll see where this leads me. Perhaps with these examples, you may say, Michael, perhaps a good Gestalt therapist for maybe once a week for the next 6-7 months. I thought about it myself. But I must tell you that I'm quite happy where I am. Happy, you ask? According to the Oxford Dictionary, to be happy is to be lucky, fortunate, contented, with one's lot. It may be strange to you, but I'm contented. I like where I am right now. I do not feel that these contradictions within myself need to be resolved. I'm not even sure if they can be. I feel they can be lived with because they are real life demands. You know, Abraham Lincoln once wrote that, I claim not to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me. He wrote this to a man named A.G. Hodges when he met in 1864 to discuss the matter of African American troops fighting for the Union. Lincoln said he never had a policy. I have simply tried to do what seemed best as each day came, he writes. I know the feeling because in large measure, outside events control me. I like to think they don't. This may simply be a confession of weakness or indirectness, but I don't think so. The events of our times, the times in which we live, are large and complex. Contradictory demands are made upon each and every one of us by the conditions of life itself. To be true to myself may not be so much a matter of being consistently loyal to a particular set of values as it is being responsive of what life demands of me, of us. For me, faith is the desire to live. It is the courage and the wit to live and to thrive. This is not a theological definition. If I turned that into my professors in seminary, there would be a misunderstanding. It's not a profound definition of faith, yet one's faith, it seems to me, is how one lives. I know what you believe in by the way you live, right? That's how you know. You could say, oh, Michael, I'm in shul on the Fridays, and I'm in the temple, and I'm in the mosque on Friday, and I'm in Bible study on Wednesday. But I know people who do that will treat you like you are something underneath their shoe. They're doing the right things. The optics. Consistency for me at this age is not a compelling requirement of faith. Courage is. Desire is. Courage and faith grow in me as I give myself to the demands of the day that is given me. When Lincoln said that he never had a policy, I simply tried to do what seemed best as each day came. That is a declaration of faith. I like the idea of that kind of faith. It enables me to do one thing this day which may clearly contradict what I did yesterday and may do tomorrow. The demands of each day are not necessarily the same. The day may force me to both love and to hate, be reasonable and impetuous, committed and tolerant, liberal and radical, to embrace and to refrain from embracing. It takes me into a place where I discover more and more what life is really about. And sometimes those discoveries may be painful, but so be it. Knowing and discovering how frail humanity really is inspires in me a deeper respect for it than in my earlier, more idealized responses. I'm learning to see life the way it is and not the way I need it to be, or want it to be, or wish it to be. That doesn't mean you don't try to change. But I change things if I can, not because I'm worried about the outcome, but because it's the right thing to do at the time. That's how I keep my inner peace. See, because if I want people to change, which is not always the greatest thing, because people have to want to change. But if they're not changing fast enough for me, or they're not changing, then now I'm not at peace. Now I want the outcome. You do good because good is good to do. I'm not bribed by heaven or hell. I do good because it's the right thing to do. The less reason I have to be hopeful about life, the stronger is my determination to prevail. This is not always satisfying to me, and there are times more questions than answers. For most of us, there are limits to our courage, to our wit and desire, but we can survive. Well, let me say this. I can survive and enjoy the process if I have faith in life, a continuous, changing, mysterious life, whose author is a God I can never, ever hope to really know or even define. I'm okay with it. But that presence is felt only as I respond to life and to seek what is never really completely found. In the immortal words of one of my intellectual fathers, the last good Roman emperor, Harry, Walt, Bill, Marcus Aurelius, from his Meditations. I have learned that it is silly to try to escape other people's thoughts. I just need to try to escape my own. It is enough to take care that you don't treat inhumanity as it treats human beings. This Roman emperor is one of my intellectual fathers. There has been a tremendous use of the first person singular in what I've been saying this morning. I'm not sure if it hinders or helps communication to speak so personally in a setting where only I have the privilege to speak. We shall see where it leads. I leave you with the words and the work of Lillian Smith. She's a daughter of the South, wonderful writer and cultural critic, from a book called The Journey. She says, and so I went on a journey to answer for myself just a few questions. What are our most human qualities? What sets us apart from an animal or a machine? From the masses and the monster? How can we believe in our lifetime and our infinite possibilities when our limitations are so conspicuous? And hope? What is this stubborn thing that keeps us forever picking at the lock of time? I love that image. What drives us to measure our puny size against the unknown and win? The odds are against us. The odds they've always been against us. And we know it, but we've never believed it. And because of our refusal to believe it, because of our crazy, unconquerable own of living creatures have learned to outwit fate and to enjoy the job so much that even on the holidays, we keep challenging our antagonist. It's a strange talent, and it's so strictly human. A few questions, she writes, were never answered. Others changed into new questions, for I changed as I went along. End quote. It's a beautiful sentiment. I remind you, as I remind myself, of the words and the wisdom of Dr. Howard Thurman, that any contradictions of life are not really final contradictions. The contradictions of life are not final. And he goes on to say this, and if you didn't hear anything else, hear this. The time and place of a person's life on earth is the time and place of their body. But the meaning and significance of that life is as vital is as powerful, is as vast and far-reaching as he or she wills it to be. I wonder if this is the never-ending search for answers. This yearning, felt but not discussed, that more than anything brings you and I back to this congregation each Sunday, to this church. This is what I came to on my sabbatical. And I thank you all for making that happen. Please rise as you are able and willing, and join in singing our closing hymn, number 348, Guide My Feet. Number 348. Maestro, let's give her a hand, both maestros. Roll, thank you for helping me with that, but also all the people who kept us running, all the leaders, all the volunteers, which is the whole congregation, that kept this going. I was at other churches once in a while to speak, and they tapered off, which most UU churches do. But from what I heard, we were going like gangbusters, and we need to do that. So I thank you for that. Give yourselves a hand. I went to one church, there were 6 people and a cat in the audience. Okay. Let's go eat. If we have been blessed this morning by what we are and by hope and the promise that we have in the community, and we will explore that. Remember that hope and its promise. We got a good thing going here. Remember that you are a unique and needed part of this, so you must tell this story, you must live its beauty, and you must go in peace, and you must get some food.